KUXIU. All right. Welcome back, guys. For those of y'all who may not have been here a little bit ago, we tried flying the Bravo Airspace 787. Had issues with throttle levers. Couldn't get throttle levers to work in the airplane. So from there, we tried the MD-11 and then had a GSX issue. So we just said screw it, and we set up for a pilot's life flying. I'm just going to fly the 737-900 from LA to San Francisco. Next leg would be Atlanta-Harrisburg, although I might skip that one and go straight to the last leg, which I believe is, let's see, I think it's Sacramento to Salt Lake. So we'll try to at least get maybe those two legs in. LA, San Francisco, and then Sacramento, Salt Lake. So at least we can get some flying going. We'll be flying on VATSIM. We got some VATSIM coverage coming out of LA. They just finished up the boarding, so we'll get ready to get out of here as quick as we can. Now, over to the chat real fast. My man Oralos in the house. What's going on, dude? How is training going? Hope all's good. Wes, welcome, my friend. And a tipsy penguin. Appreciate that, man. Y'all can't hear me now, right? I wasn't talking or anything. I was just kind of letting the intro music run and do the quick little prep in the cockpit. Alrighty, so let's see. Here in LA, weather's 260 at 8, 10 statute miles, few at 2,000, scattered 15,000, temperature 21, dew point 12, altimeter 3002. That is set. If we need to come back, we're going to come back to runway 25 right. Course heading on that is 251. Get that set on both sides. That's it. Setting the heading.
Ground American 1240.
Frequency would be 111.1.
American 1240. Yeah, we've got our PDC clearance here. It says a flight amendment was made, but we got the routing here, the amended routing. It looks exactly the same as our original flight plan.
Well, that's good to go. All right.
What was your original flight plan?
Let's make sure our payload.
Because I didn't send that PDC, so I didn't make that amendment. Okay, I can give the tower a call.
GSX is messing with
never mind, I'll just ask tower. Stay on this frequency, please.
Yeah, it's fuel weight 144.2. That's in there, and then fuel. Block fuel should be 14.9. Let's just call it 15.1. All right. Let's throw LAX in there. Request flight plan. All right, Delta 2267, load that up. Uplink the routing.
American 1240, I just talked to tower. Apparently the approach controller before he got on rerouted you. So neither of us have any idea what the reroute was, but it's correct for right now. Alright, apron, thanks. If the route looks the same, it was probably something like an equipment code that you filed incorrectly or an incorrect altitude,
so we'll
like
probably be off 24 left.
Alright, thank you very much. We'll take a look.
Delta
Summer
Echo
2.
17 Hotel, ready for taxi.
Delta Echo 17 Hotel, altimeter 3002, runway 24 left, taxi via Echo 6.
Thank you, Delta Echo.
And then on the arrival, it's going to be RNAV 10 left. We'll be on the Surfer 4 Surfer transition. Alright, now we'll cross-check this with our clearance. Route, Summer 2, Stoke, Surfer, Surfer 4, 320, Squawk 7664. Cleared Summer 2 departure, Stoke transition, climb via SID, except maintain 5,000. Just set. Expect 3205 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is offline. Roger that. So we got Summer 2 stoked in there. Activate, execute, climb 320. Init, 0 fuel weight. Drop that in. Then the block fuel reserves. Reserve fuel is 3.8. Cost index should be 99. Yep. Cruise winds 210 at 34. Outside air temp is ISO +4. Execute N1 limits. We'll just get our numbers from in here. Performance tool. 24 left. Import from the jet.
Delta Echo 17 Hotel.
Alright, cell temp of 47. TO2. Takeoff flaps 5.
Delta Echo 17 Hotel. Wind 250. Sorry, correction. Contact tower now 120.95. I'm messing up here.
Alright, good to go there.
Contact tower. Delta Echo 17 Hotel, contact tower 120.95.
Ah, fuck, I didn't want to hit that. No. Just trying to hit. Fuck, a duck. Ground crew pulled it. Wasn't me. It's all the ground crew. Now that we got ground. D9 Charlie. All right. All right. All right, catch up in the chat real quick. Let's see. Craig, can we get an intro soundtrack? What you mean? Like, what's the name of the song? Or you just wanted to hear it again? We did play it in the beginning. See, Raw said, good dude. Had 2 tests today, and then was released for the day, so we were chilling. Very nice. I've had plenty of those myself, and plenty more coming. Notorious, greetings to you, boss. It's been a while since I've been able to catch you live. Hope all is well with you, the missus, and the new job. Man, all is good. Can't complain. I'll be heading back up to Atlanta tomorrow for 4 days of OJT, and then probably go do my fam ride in an A350 from Atlanta, LA, and then LA back. Probably go hang out with Callie Simmer for a day or two. So all's good, man. Can't complain. Hope all's well with you. Let's see. Let's call up ground for a little push action. All right, gate 33, terminal 3, gate 33. All right, now that we got ground on. So when I first signed on, it was just center. Now we got ground. Info Lima. Approaches, RMP, runway 24 right, 25 left. There's visual. Partners in progress, 245, call for push. Call for push on the taxiways Alpha Charlie Delta Kilo Lima, Mike, push and start at pilot's discretion on ramps and alleyways. Activate transponder mode Charlie on all taxiways and runways. Include your call sign. Yada, yada, yada. Alright, sweet. So we're ready to go. Alright, beacons on, brakes release, clear to push. Nose to the north. Oh, you want the YouTube playlist with the intro music? I just use on Spotify, what's it called? Stream Beats. There's a ton of songs from Stream Beats. So, I just kind of made a playlist a few years ago and just keep playing the same playlist. Kind of organized it how I wanted, but yeah, if you go to Spotify and just search Stream Beats, or maybe even YouTube Music, might be able to find it. All right, rolling 2.
Alley Grand American 1240, stand 49 Bravo with the Kilo, Correction Lima, on board ready for push and start.
American 1240, squawk mode Charlie.
That is pretty loud. Let's tone that down some. All right. every time.
And 1240 should be Mo Charlie now for red.
To Charlie face east.
It's still loud.
Yeah,
as hell.
repeat that for 1240. Get blocked a little bit.
Make 1240 push on to Charlie face east.
I push Charlie face east. They're after 1240.
Come on, dude. Just damn click spots. Why is my seatbelt sign not working? There it goes. LA ground, Delta 2267, Terminal 3 with Lima, ready taxi.
That's 2267 on Subway 3022, runway 24 left, activate Echo Echo 6.
24 left via Echo Echo 6, Delta 2267. Alright, we're departing off runway 24 left, Summer 2, Stoke transition, L11 off the ground, our first fix of Delray, up to 5,000 feet. No departure frequency and no weather changes.
Delta 2267, monitor LA Tower 120.95.
Tower on 20.95. We'll see you at Delta 2267.
Yeah.
Come on, tower. LA Tower, Delta 2267, holding short 24 left, ready to take off.
2267, LA Tower, low wind 250 at 8, runway RNAV, Delray, runway 24 left, clip takeoff.
RNAV Delray, clip takeoff, runway 24 left, Delta 2267. Alright, boys and girls, let's rock and fire. Get the hell out of here. Here we go.
V1. Rotate.
Yeah, this airport.
2267, LA Center is offline. No further ATC available for the check. So that's great flight.
Over to Unicom, appreciate your ATC today. Have a great one. Delta 2267. Alright, BNAV. Flaps 1. Flaps up. And Command B, Command. Approach just get on? It says it did. Alright, ladies and gents, we are on the way. that climb going up 32,000. Supposed to have a little bit of weather around the San Francisco area when we get there. Some rain showers predominantly, maybe some gusty winds. Nothing too terribly crazy. We are carrying 40 minutes of extra gas. And who knows, if we have to divert, we'll just go over to Sacramento and we can start our second flight from there. We back. Yes, we are. So Callie, I've come out there on my fam ride. What are we gonna go do while I'm in town? I'm gonna look at flights in my calendar now and see if we can't figure this out. So if I came out there on my next set of days off, which would be 4 days from now, I could hang out there 24th, 25th, come back 26th. Oh wait, no. I got it wrong, sorry. See, boom, boom. I was looking at Crystal's schedule. So I'd come out there Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I'd come in on Sunday, fly back out on Tuesday. See, make sure there's actually a 350 flight. '26th through 28th. Kennedy wants you to come to the lot so you can get the personal tour via the golf cart while the tour buses look and try to figure out who you are. Sounds like a plan. Alright, so there is a 350 flight. Departs at 6:50 and arrives at 8:30. what do I work the day before? I'll make sure I have my required rest. So I get off at 5. I'm sorry, what what's that gonna be like? I'll get off at like 2 p.m. on Saturday. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, but if I'm scheduled, we have rest requirements. So, let me see what they actually show me in the schedule for the time I get off, because it has to be from that. All right, 3 o'clock. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 p.m. is my min rest. So I could come out on the very first flight of the day. That's a 7.5. Second flight of the day is a 7.6. So I could always go out there on like a 7.6 and then come back on a 350. That way I have more time. Get there earlier. If I take the 350 to LA, then I wouldn't get to LA until where is it at? 8:30 p.m. If I take a 7.6, then I get there at like 10:45 a.m. or noon. And that way I get to see 2 airplanes. So I might do that. Get to LA at noon on a 7.6-300, and then depart to come back at 9:25 a.m. on Tuesday, which puts me back in Atlanta at 4:30. Let's plan on that for now. Ah, okay. Yeah, that might be the one I'd take. I have to get up super duper early. Just gotta figure out how to what's the process to list for it. Start getting into some of this mountain wave, if there is any. Well, cool. Be a good time. Be a good time. Anywhere in the mountains we can go? Maybe we could go do a day in Palm Springs, since I've never been in that kind of a deserty type place. Sure, we can figure out something fun to go do in addition to the tour. Did you see that the FAA has now permanently banned the parallel? Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that. They got to be staggered now instead of side by side. Bumpy as hell. What is Camarillo or I can't. It's too small on that stupid little screen. Yeah, Camarillo Oxnard. Never even heard of that. What is that? I'm just down for the get down. You know what I'm saying? They said expect delays instead of 56 an hour, more like 34 an hour. See, that's weird to me because, like, I mean, unless there's more to it, but I mean, what if you staggered them by half a mile? That's not parallel. It's like, how does that really reduce the rate? Even if you stagger them by 1 mile. There's probably more to it than that, I would assume. It'd be cool to go to a place like this. A lake next to the mountains. Lake that you probably don't have to worry about fucking snakes and gators and shit like that. Should have flown into Fresno. And then do then jump in like the Kodiak for Microsoft 24 and fly into Yosemite. Lake Arrowhead. Is that that's not the lake I was just looking at, right? It's is that a lake that's like more in LA area? Google Maps time. Okay, I see it. God, there's so many rows. So many docks. Like a lot of like German type architecture, looks like. It's pretty. Ow, that's loud. Oakland Center. We ain't even in there yet. Been there, stoked. 32.2. Probably some good, perhaps good restaurants on that lake. Maybe. Let's see. A little waterfront view. Let's say restaurant. Cadillac Cowboy. Tiki Republic. Belgian Waffles. Jetty's Waterfront. Oh yeah, that's nice. Hell yeah. Ooh, Pokey Nachos. Shit. Food looks meh. But the views look good. This is Cadillac Cowboy shit. Oh, that's a cool looking joint. Barbecue looks alright. Might have to get a little lunch out there or something. Salt Lake Center's on as well, so we might have some good coverage on our second flight. Oakland Center, Delta 2267, entering your airspace from the south, flight level 30,400 feet, climbing for flight level 320.
267 up in center, head surfer, join the wave 2 arrival.
Hey, what was that arrival again for 2267?
It's going to be the wave 2 arrival, and I 120 right.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Waves 2 arrival. And, I'm sorry, one more time on the runway.
10 right.
Got that. Waves 2 for 10 right, Delta 2267, thanks. Alright, so at Surfer join. Waves 2 to... Copy that. We'll go grab it now. Delta 2267. I have runway 10 left approaching use, departing runways 10 right. Oak Center Delta 2267, we have uniform.
2267, when you're ready, send via the wave 2 arrival.
Descend waves 2 arrival at pilot's discretion, Delta 2267. Alright, so that's flips everything around. Runway 10 right. We'll do Yankee. Then arrival. Waves 2. Cool.
Retard.
Execute that.
Retard. Retard.
And AH Alpha Hotel.
Hitter cleared on Zulu.
Thank you so much for the subscription, my friend. Welcome to the Wrong Side family. Very happy to have you with us. All right, let's run our landing performance. Only 1-0 left. It's dry, maybe. Don't see any rain in the current METAR. Winds 210 at 11, gust 22. Winds 190 varying to 250, 10 statute miles. Fuel at 2900, broken 4200. Temperatures 18 dew point 9. Altimeter 29901. Yeah, it should be dry. Let's see. Let's get our. So, should be in San Francisco at 8.2 plus a 0 fuel weight. Calculator 1,200. So fuel weight is 144, 200. So that gives us 152.4 is our estimated landing weight. That's close enough there. Flap 30, air conditioning on, AI off, auto brake level 3. We do have reversers. And then that gust 22. So let's say we'll just make it a little bit more. We'll do 7. All right, available landing distance 11,867 feet. Required landing distance 5,971. Perfect. So we'll do a flaps 30 landing. Gives us a VREF of 147. So for the minimums, damn, we only got LNAV. Is there an RMP for this one? Nope. Fun stuff. So this is. It's just LNAV, which is gives us an MDA, which means we've got to add 50 feet to the minimums. So Barrow is published or charted at 1,200. So it's going to be 1,250.
Flight level 390.
It's called a derived decision altitude. Not past it.
Squawk 3745.
On Nippon 6, squawk 3745.
Course headings 104.
Oakland Thunder, American 491 with information uniform ready for push and start at dead friend.
And bottom altitude is 6,000.
191, pushback to spot. Pushback to spot 1.
Set. Alright. We are looking good. Turn weather on this side. We got the terrain on captain's side. Alright, I think we're set, ready to go.
So caution on base will be pretty much on the board.
Oh, you know what? I was looking at 10 right. 10 left has nav, VNav. So mins for that one is 494. Oakland Center, Delta 2267, vacating, flight level 320. Alright, let's see. Catching back up in the chat. Fires, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Yeah, the streaming has been very sporadic. A little bit here and there. Work's been busy with on-the-job training and all that stuff, so it's haven't been able to stream as consistent as I would like to. But good to see you as always, my friend. There's also Santa Barbara. It's only about 2 hours away. Hey, look, like I said, I'm down for the get down. Obviously, we can assess options when we get there and see what we want to do. But I'm down for any of it.
Contact 25 miles, 250 miles. 12, wind 1407, gust 14. What's your right, clear land, United 212. Although 2267, if you still blocking 30 miles, you'll be past an area of modern Debbie substation around 100 miles.
Yeah, we see it on the radar. Appreciate you. We will advise Delta 2267. Thanks. Where is? There it is. All right. I don't know if y'all heard or not, but Microsoft is working on the tilt functionality of Weather Radar, and that should be coming with Sim Update 5, although they'll be working on it further, so it won't be perfect, but there'll be some sort of tilt functionality for Weather Radar. So in a situation like this, right, where we're above most of the weather, we could tilt the Weather Radar down and kind of be able to get a better picture of what the precip is like below us.
And then I didn't catch the rest of that.
You're 491 on Mike, cross one left and turn northbound onto the one right.
Cross one left, turn right on the one right.
Give me a left turn on the one right.
Sorry about that. Left turn on the one right.
current altimeter 2992, wind 190, 18 gust 28.
All right, so now Victor's current winds 190 at 18 gust 2, 18 such miles. Light rain, few at 29, broken 41, temperature 17, dew point 11, 202. So import that weather again, and let's run it as wet. Calculate, and landing distance is still plenty fine. So far, our route looks like it works pretty well. We can go into green and yellow, but red and purples, we can't. Kings, how's it going, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Were you there at the last stream that we tried with the 787? It obviously did not go to plan. All right, transition. And we're going to get the anti-ice on. It's 5 degrees Celsius and visible moisture ahead of us. So until the temperature is either above 10 degrees Celsius or out of visible moisture, we will have the engine and wing anti-ice on.
Retard, 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 retard.
And Corwin Tipper, thank you so much, my friend, for the subscription. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the content. Welcome, welcome to the Wrong Side channel. Very happy to have you with us. Hope you're having a lovely afternoon.
Taxi 1 right and exit on Foxtrot for 491.
Oakland Center, Delta 2267. I'd like to request 15 left for weather.
2267, deviation left to 30 degrees left is approved. Report back on course at,
Alright, 30 degrees left, or up to 30 degrees left approved, and we'll report back on course for Delta 2267. Try to miss some of this stuff just to give our passengers a little bit, maybe better rides.
American 491 on Foxtrot, cross on left, continue via Foxtrot Bravo.
After Foxtrot crossing 1 left and Foxtrot Bravo for 491.
Delta 2267, if you can, bases and top on your way.
Absolutely, we'll let you know, Delta 2267.
Thank you.
I'd say top's about 10,000 or so. At least where we're going in. Oof. And center Delta 2267 is back on course, direct pillar, and thus far the tops are around 10,000.
Thank you.
Let's see, prog, nav status, DME and VOR update off. We're on GPS approach. Nice to see a 4K streamer. I appreciate that. You know, that was a big thing with me. I started streaming, I don't know, like 5 years ago. And for the longest time, I wanted to stream in 4K. And internet was always the limiting factor. I could always get it up to 2K, but 4K was, it was too much upload for...
2267, can you tell between broken and overcount?
It's hard to say. I'm kind of in and out of it. Once I get a little bit lower, I should be able to tell you. Right now, I'm in kind of a clear spot. It does look like it will end up being a solid layer. But hard to say at this point. Up to 2267. But finally, I got
2267, plan RNAV runway 10 right approach.
RNAV runway 10 right approach, Delta 2267. Fuck. Stand by.
And if you have a preference between the Yankee and the Zulu, let me know.
Wilco. Let's see.
Austin Center is 556.
Southwest to you, Edgerwin.
There's a 552 at Tree, and what it is, Tree Manor.
Definitely Zulu. Arrival.
Alright, 2267, sorry, man, that expect RNAV runway 10 left approach.
What's that for? Delta 552?
Negative. 2267, sorry about that plan, RNAV runway 10 left approach.
Alright, runway RNAV, runway 10 left approach, Delta 2267.
American 491, Zulu, Zulu 1 to 10.
Well, 10 left sucks.
Zulu 1 to 10 for 491.
No, it's not. It's the ones that are right that sucks.
491, will you be ready to?
Hey, I'm ready to roll.
American 491, wind 190 at 18.28, runway 10 right, Pacific takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 10 right for 491.
That's 2267, depart pillar heading 350.
Depart pillar heading 350, Delta 2267. 350 set. So it looks like it's going to turn us a little shallow. 3,500 will probably be the next altitude assignment. But anyways, finally got fiber in my neighborhood, and made the switch. Required going from one carrier to another carrier, and went to AT&T fiber, and ever since I've been able to finally stream in 4K so that you guys can enjoy a nice clear picture. No flaps 1.
The 491 are to contact us.
Radar contact climbing 1200.
American 491 climbing team, follow up 190, use caution, will be passing an area of moderate to heavy precipitation for the next 30 miles through the flight.
Copy, cleared 190 and roger on the precipitation.
491 when you're able, base is on top.
Say again for 491.
When able, report your base is on top.
All right, heading 350, heading select BNAV
Copy for 491.
altitude.
United 968, Coneco Lake 125.57. Get out. Oscar 530 on trigger. The 552 consider things for your patients. Squawk 3305. Actually, I think you're ready. Never mind. Verify us.
Yeah,
552, verify your odds.
552, sorry, say again, please.
Verify your altitude.
Altitude 3900, pilot 3900, power 552.
For the 2267, send maintain 3000.
Down 3,000, 2267. Level change.
Oscar 530, open center, welcome.
Flaps 2. Fiber's no joke. I'm never not getting fiber, right? Dude, it's solid, man. It is so good. And Corbin Tipper, appreciate that. Thanks for the reminder.
On upon 7, your pushback is approved, spot 9. Pushback approved, spot 9.
I'm gonna need that turn pretty soon.
Welcome, call. 711 up from center, welcome. Descend to maintain flight level 360.
Center 491, hitting the clouds, pace at about 7,000.
2267, clear cross Ludi at or above 3000, cleared RNAV, runway 10 left first.
All right, direct Ludi at or above 3,000 at Ludi, and cleared for the RNAV approach from a 10 right, Delta 2267.
The 552 cross Pirate at maintain 8000, San Francisco, altimeter 29092.
You said maintain 8,000 for Delta 552 and altimeter 29092.
The 552 negative cross Pirate at maintain 8000.
Okay, so cross Pirate and at flight level 80, confirm.
Just 8000. We'll be on low speed, local on. Hello, 2267, 190, 18 gets 28, running 10 right, clear line.
Clear land, runway 10 right, Delta 2267.
4322 traffic, 12 o'clock, 30 miles out, direct, sub 37, level 36. No, we'll be looking 4322.
And center Delta 2267, I believe I was assigned 10 left.
Alright, the 2267 cleared, runway 10 left.
10 left, clear to land, Delta 2267, thanks. Alright, approach. Let's go flaps 5.
I get 491, climb maintain flight level 350.
350 for 491.
4322, descend maintain flight level 310. Flight level 310.
That's 552, request descent.
For who?
Delta 552.
Glide path.
Tank clearance, otherwise I will request descent now.
Gear down. Flaps 15.
Cross at 8000.
Okay, so cross Pirate at 8,000, that's what I got. Is that correct?
Thought I'd hit those. That's gonna hit my score.
2500.
Yeah, copy. I just busted out into a clear section, but I'm
Especially with the
buzzing
Microsoft.
over section right
I
now.
don't want internet to fail. Yeah, man, I'm right there with you for sure.
Down is one layer. Just let me know
Flaps
when you-
25. And flaps 30. Center Delta 2267. We're down at 2,200 feet, and we're still in the soup. Actually, looks like we're popping out. Should be popping out around 2,000 or so.
Okay, I'll mark that down. Thank you.
I guess one other thing to note as well, from 10,000 all the way down to 2,000, been some intermittent, moderate.
Copy. And then they're on home. 7 heavy. Upon 7 heavy, runway 10 right, taxi via Alpha, Bravo 1, Zulu, Zulu 1. Report ready for departure. Alpha, Bravo 1, Zulu 1, report ready on home 7.
1,000.
1,000, stable.
Center 491 just went through a layer for about 13 to 15,000.
491 roger.
Got the Pappies.
Okay, that's over there. Here. 711, descend via the Center 4, arrival, Sacramento landing north, sorry, Sacramento landing south.
I need approach lights.
American 491, anything else of note other than the
Negative. Clear skies above me now.
Roger, thank you.
500. Approaching minimums.
I got the runway.
Minimums.
Landing.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50.
Oh shit.
30.
920, pushback on Yankee, spec
10.
Hit the wrong button.
Taking Yankee 10 right, Delta 920.
4322, ready to terminate for exchange for 4912, descend via Oak 3 arrival, runway 12 transition. Alright, we get that again. 4912, descend via the Oak 3, runway 12 transition.
And that damn, like you even barely touched the rudders, and that camera's like, I gotta figure that out.
So the 552, you're 12 o'clock and 40 miles, you've been entering an area of moderate to heavy precipitation around 100 miles in diameter, advice in deviation. So the 522.
Delta 920, go ahead.
So 522, you're 12 o'clock and 30 miles, you'll be entering an area of moderate to heavy precipitation around 100 miles in diameter, advice in deviation.
Articulate text me, please. I'm very sorry.
Oak Center, Delta 2267, vacated, runway 10 left at Lima, holding short, 10 right.
Delta 2267 on Lima, cross runway 10 right, active via Lima, short of Gulf.
Right, cross 10 right at Lima, and then Lima, short of Golf, Delta 2267.
And upon 7 heavy, runway 10 right, line up away, traffic crossing downfield. 10 right, line up away, traffic crossing, Article 7. The 2267, what's your gate today?
Whatever suits you best, 2267.
So the 2267, roger, you take Golf, Alpha to the gate, it'll be the first set of gates you see off of Golf. Cross 1 left, cross 1 right.
Alright, we'll cross 1 left, 1 right, and then Golf Alpha for Delta 2267. Oak Center 2267, one last thing. If you could, I would probably put all the San Francisco traffic on 10 left. The men's on 10 right are pretty high, and I didn't pick up the runway until maybe 100 feet from men's.
Roger, 10 right, clear to take off on the phone, 7 heavy.
Drew, what's up, dude? How's it going, man? Long time. Ain't seen you in a minute. Mainly because I don't be streaming as much as I used to. The new job keeps me pretty busy. Clear left, clear right.
B80 Golf House in center, welcome. Entry B80 Golf Admiral Low, join the Stellar 4 arrival. Delta 920, you're going to give way to your company. They're crossing the runway to your right. Behind that traffic, runway 10 right, taxi via Alpha Golf. Cross one left and turn northbound on the one right. I'll give you further once you're there.
Give way to our company, and then Alpha Golf will cross one left, turn north on one right. And it looks like we're there once around one right, up that point.
On 7 heavy, ready to contact the altitude. Crossing 2000 on Palm 7. On 7 heavy, climb maintained by level 190. Use caution for the next 50 miles. Your route of flight will be passing an area of moderate to heavy precipitation. Advise if you need any deviation. Last reported basis and stops is by 321, 7,000, and 1 to 3,000. 5 minutes.
Roger that, we copy the weather information and climb and maintain 1 knot, 1.7.
This is Bravo 9.
Information whiskey now current altimeter 299.0, the wind through 120 at 9. Sir, Golf Pilot's discretion, descend and maintain by level 240. So 1011, information Mike is current, so you expect DI left, runway 17 right approach, you can see after left. On upon 7 heavy, gliding 120. 120 on pump. The 552 information whiskey is not current. Expect RNAV runway 10 left.
Information whiskey and RNAV for runway 10 left approach for the 552. Thank you.
Alright, 1372 Oakland Center at Surfer, join the waves to arrival.
Alright, brake set. I never started the APU, so
1372 at Surfer, join the waves to arrival. On upon 7 heavy, fighting 240.
alright, brake set. We'll let them up, shut them down.
For the 552, we actually have a weather now at Arch, so that's a bit downward, so maybe
Yeah, we'll turn it off
deviation
now.
around that would be good.
Okay, just let me know what you need.
United 1372 confirmed at Surfer direct to Whiskey Alpha Victor Sierra.
The arrival, not just the waypoint, but the entire arrival, but that's correct.
At Surfer direct arrival for United 1372.
At 1372, thanks. Once you get that plugged in, descend via the waves to arrival.
And descend via the waves, United
I swung in as you were on short final. Hope the training's going well. Training's going good. Had a day that kicked my ass last week, but other than that, I still handled it
552.
okay. But
Is a direct transfer from Green to North.
right now it's really more like learning the small minutia things,
Yankee to
like
North.
stuff that you don't really or can't really train for. It's not until like you're dispatching on the line, then you get a phone call and it'll be some super odd, weird little issue, and that kind of stuff you can't really train for. But so far, man, it's been going really good.
I'll get you a better fix. For the 552, cleared direct to Ludi on the R-Nav runway 10 left to right.
Let our jump seater out.
Again, R-Nav 10 left approach is on.
Hit Arnav 10 left. Over 920, we're now northbound about right.
Well, guys, welcome to San Francisco.
920 left turn, 5 shot, cross 1 left.
Oh man, I'm gonna get docked pretty good, I'm sure, for
Left on Fox Truck, cross 1 left. Fox
the
Truck,
lights.
Bravo, Zulu,
I always forget that my light panel is backwards for the 7.3 than it is the Airbus. So for example, in the 7.3, if the positions are up, then they're off. If they're down, then they're on. But on the Airbus, on my light panel, they're separate. Up would be on and down would be off. So when I look at my light panel, I get it mixed up, and didn't have my landing lights on until like 3,000 feet. So y'all won't be able to see this, but we'll see what the score was on that flight with a pilot's life.
Up on 7 heavy, climb maintain flight level 320.
So we got a 99 out of 100 with 79 on the extra points. And yep, the only thing that I missed was the landing lights. But aside from that, everything else we passed. Landing rate was a negative 164 and a G-force of 1.1. And those winds were kind of gnarly. I mean, we were like a solid 20 degrees, 20 maybe, I'd probably say like 20 degrees. A little catty corner crabbing to the runway. Let's see if I can find out where we touched down at. Landing details. All right, so we're within the zone. We weren't we weren't anywhere close. Oh yeah, the other thing that I kind of screwed up. I had my thumb on the toga button, so I wasn't sure if we were gonna have the runway all the way down. As we were getting close to minimums, I couldn't see. All I could see were the pappies, but I couldn't see the runway. And I don't think there was any approach lights. So I had my finger on the toga button, and when we got to minimums, I should have took my finger off. Or when I picked up the runway, I should have took my finger off, but I didn't. And so whenever I went to disconnect the auto throttle, instead of hitting the auto throttle disconnect, I hit the toga button. So obviously hitting that's going to make you float because the engine's going to spoil up quite a lot. And I knew as soon as I hit it what I did. So after about a second or two, I hit the auto throttle disconnect and then got it down to idle. So with that said, we floated down quite a bit, by a lot, like 5, 10, 15. So we were about 1,700 feet down from the touchdown point. But we had plenty of runway, so wasn't too worried about it. That daggone like camera reaction to rudder input, that's what I need to figure out, because it makes it really hard to track to the center line in a crosswind when the camera's like moving around like that. We're going to skip the Atlanta-Harrisburg flight and just do Sacramento-Salt Lake. Kind of keep it out here out west. That's not a Delta uniform.
Chaser 96, 10 left taxi via
Who the hell are you, lady?
Charlie 3 for 10 left, circuit 97.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get set up for the next flight and go use the lav, and I'll be back with y'all shortly. And our next flight's gonna be Sacramento to Salt Lake.
4912, descend and maintain flight level 340.
Flight level 340, left at 4912.
530, turn left heading 120 vector for traffic. This is 4912 at 340, you can descend via the arrival.
And from 340, we can descend via the arrival, left at 4912.
Oscar 530, open center.
Center citation to place on safety transfer
Other 532, descend and maintain 3000.
Maintain 3000,
12161, follow the 737, runway 10 left.
10 left, follow the 73 citation.
Oscar 530 here.
Apologies, we're Oscar 530.
530, flighting 120 vector for traffic.
120, Oscar 530.
So 1010, push approved, expect 1 sun right. 552, clear direct to Ludi, cross the Ludi outer above 3000, cleared out RNAV, runway 10 left approach.
552, clear direct to Ludi, cross the Ludi at around 3000, clear for the on-off 10 left.
530, traffic at your 10 o'clock and 10 miles westbound is the 737 descending at a flight level 35, sir. On upon 6, radar services terminated, frequency change approved. Who else called? Definitely on upon 6 or on upon 7. On upon 7?
I'm just asking for the last transmission. Is it for 7 or for 6?
What did you hear?
Yeah, I saw that heard on upon 7, radar service terminated. Is it for me?
No, that's for on upon 6. 759 open center, welcome at Surfer. Join the wave 2 arrival. You can plan for 10 right. Okay, sorry, 10 left.
On the phone 6 radar service terminated. Good night.
Next.
All right, all right. I wonder if this airport's not compatible with Microsoft 24. These weird jetway things going on. Oh well. Anyways, guys, welcome back. Hopefully y'all had a nice little break. Got you a drink. Maybe took a piss. Get all relieved. And now ready for leg number 2. Going to be operating Delta Flight 1342 from Sacramento to Salt Lake City. Going to potentially have some pretty gusty winds in Salt Lake. And imagine it'll be a little bumpy on the climb out of here. Should be a good time. We'll be on VATSIM again. We have pretty much full coverage, at least from A to B. Not so much, full coverage and frequencies. We'll get connected now. All right, let's see. Sacramento, Scat 14, Macus Q124, Sloan, Fleck Utes2, altitude 320, or 330, Squawk 6342. Okay, I see. Maintain 9,000. Alright, let's see, just make sure everything's kind of where it needs to be. That's aligned, APU's on. The center's going to be on 32.2. We'll switch back over to them once we're ready to go. 21.5. All right. So I guess we're going to be off runway 17 left since we're going to the east. So 17 left, Scat 14, Macus. Execute that. Arrival. And 16 right. And the Utes 2. Fleck. Execute that. For discons, looks good. 330. .2, 0 fuel weight, 144.2 reserves. 3.9. On the CI. Top climb winds 210 at 46. ISO plus 4. So it's going to be minus 46. Execute. And I'll get our takeoff performance. Alright, so we'll be off of 17 left more than likely. Optimum off. Oh, what's the ceilings? Broken at 7,000. Okay. 2989. .989 is set. Cell template 37. TO2. And then flaps 5, of course. Trim 5.3. Speeds 151, 152, and 157. My heading's 168. Info mic. Alright. These guys should be getting ready to do their thing. Yep. So I guess real quick, on this flight we'll run checklists and all the things. So real quick, departure brief. We're here at the Bravo concourse, planning to go over to runway 17 left for departure, so we'll push back nose to the east and take Whiskey Delta 3 up to 17 left, one hot spot and runways across. Weather's not too much of a factor, other than some ceilings, but winds and no precip and stuff, so really no issue. We do have some rising terrain to our east and west, so we'll get the terrain up on the nav display. Aborts and abnormals. Below 80 knots, my decision to reject. Above 80 knots, we'll only abort for fire of any kind, engine fail, low level wind shear, anything that makes us feel like the aircraft is unsafe for takeoff. If we pop an engine at V1, we're going to go flying. Engine fail procedures, fly runway heading, speed up, clean up, sort out the issue, come back to 17 left, which is pre-tuned in the nav radios, in the course headings. And let's say I'm gonna get a straight pushback. Yeah, I'll go as planned. We're gonna fly the Scatwin for departure up to 9,000 feet. I should be almost center the entire time, and will be about it. So with that said, let's get ready to roll. Oh shit. I need to plug my iPad in. I'm gonna tell them to stop right here. We'll pause the pushback. There we go. So we're not really on the taxiway. Three, two, two.
Zero, maintain 2,500. Just go south from a localized split eye less than a 1. So 4912, the heading's 150. Go south. United 739, heading
And we'll just pick up with a pushback checklist of doors. Closed. Hydraulic panel set, fuel panel set, flight deck door.
United 1259, turn left on Gulf, cross 1 left.
Closing locks.
And then turn left on runway 1.
And transponder is transponding. Pushback checklist complete. Oakland Center, Delta 1342 on the ground in Sacramento, ready for push and start.
United 1259, the instruction was cross 1 left and then turn northbound on 1 right. So the 1258, follow United or New York. United 739, fighting 3409. Yes. So it's 4912, wind 18011, and a 12 good left. 1372, wind 1209, and a 10 left the line. 1372, and a 10 left the line. Storm Chaser 96, no traffic observed between you and the Little River Airport. Report cancellation of IFR in the air or on the ground. Restrictions to your change to advisory approved. French B80 Golf, produce the final number 2, and a 10 left the land, wind 1209.
It was busy.
Delta 1598, cross runway 1 left. So 2 Romeo Foxtrot, send via the MSO 4 arrival, runway 12 transition.
Oakland Center, Delta 1342 on the ground in Sacramento, ready for push and start.
At 1372, you appear paused on final. You're not allowed to. Oh, cool. French B80 Golf, you're now number 1, runway 12 left.
Bro. Alright, we're just going to stop the pushback here.
Delta 1342, the push is approved. Expect 17 right.
17 right, push approved, Delta 1342. Alright, resume pushback. There we go.
739 is going to maintain 4,000. 739. 1259, turn left onto 1 right, and turn left on Foxtrot.
Interesting.
1259, just for my clarification, verify you're going to turn left onto the runway and exit at Foxtrot.
Break set. Alright, so we're going to go off of 17 right.
Chaser 96,
Scat 14, max transition, execute legs.
12161, the
Oh, that looks good. And 1 limit.
6,000.
6,000.
Club 142, roger on request.
52232.
United 739, clear Eludi, cross Eludi at 3,500, play to RNAV, runway 10 left approach.
Then 465157.
United 1259 on
Ah,
Foxtrot,
the signal.
cross
Flash the lights. Let her know.
Foxtrot, Bravo, Zulu, Zulu 1.
Alright, good start.
United 1598 on Foxtrot, cross from left. 121 and 61. You clear to the Little River Airport via direct Sabjo, cross Sabjo at or above 5,200. Cleared. RNAV runway 29 reverse.
Direct Sabjo, 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 clear around 200.
Those 4912, go around observe, maintain 3,000. Fly heading 11. Southwest 4912 only. Fly heading 110, maintain 3,000. Should be 80 goal for you. Fly heading 140, climb maintain 5,000. That is 739, cleared RNAV, runway 10 left first, runway 10 left second. 1559 open center, and Surfer join the wave 2 around. Roger that, I said
Oakland Center Delta. Shoot, forgot who I was. Fuck. Lost my OFB.
Alright, here we go. Got an 879. That is 10 flight. Taxi via Alpha, my full short, runway 11.
This is the only reason why I hate flying on vet sim, because you end up just sitting around a lot waiting because there's one person working in airspace. ATC is kind of low. Copy.
For pilot club 142, Monterey Airport, Burbank Airport, Monterey, 5 departure, radar vectors to Surfer, fly maintain 7,000 to 1722.
Is that better? Let me know. Oakland Center Delta 1342, Sacramento, taxi with Mike.
Let him read it back. Okay, pilot club 142. The read back is correct. You back grenade to it left, and you can call me the back. Pilot club 142 to it left, via Alpha for ready for departure. H80 Golf, fly heading 270, direct RNAV 10.
Flight request to flight level 370.
Southwest 4912, heading 340, expect ILS, running 12 first.
Alright, fuck it. Got off that sim because it's just end up sitting around forever. He gets fucking pissed, or not pissed, but he knows. He's like, "Well, let him read back." But Fuck, I can't hear San Francisco traffic all the way on the ground here. All you can do is like hear the controller, give an instruction, and then kind of give a cadence as to what you think would take that person to read it back, like how long it would take them. Well, you can't hear them, so I'm sure he could care less about my little departure out of Sacramento. That's why a lot of times I just go, well, what's that wind doing? Both the wind socks are showing. Should be taking off off 35 left. Let's see. Weather. Oh, it's variable. Alright, we're gonna go based off the wind sock and go off of 35 left. And the SID is not compatible, naturally. Nope. There we go. We'll do that one. Alright, jeez. Alright, so we're departing off runway 35 left on the Arvic 4 Marcus transition, or Macus transition. Are navigation off the ground to Arvic, up to 9,000 feet. We are offline, no weather changes. Let's get ready to go. iPad battery ain't shit no more.
V1.
Repeat. Positive rate.
Gear up. Hell no. $1,000 B now. Laps 1. Laps up. Come in. Phew. Goodness. What's up, stinky butt? I need to take you for a walk, huh? You need to go for a walk. You can't have none of that, girl. Get your mouth off my flight controls. That's what she said. Leave all this crappy weather behind. There. I swear, any like complex jet in flyby mode, it just does this. Rue heard my candy wrapper paper and came in here looking at me like, yo, where's mine? You don't get none. You can't have candy. It's not good for you. It's not good for me either. Alright, 8 for 9. Keep it going. Up to 33. There's 10,000. All right, it's now 10 degrees Celsius. Let's get those into ice systems, heating them wings up. We'll pop through these clouds. We won't pick up any icing. What's in here? Ooh. I'm eating candy from my Easter basket that Crystal made me. Temperature warmed back up, so now we can get that wing and engine anti-ice back off. Full of shit. That's Lake Tahoe. Okay. I thought it was. Alright, hang on, guys. I'm gonna be right back. I forgot I haven't had my damn camera on this whole time. I'm gonna be right back. I am gonna go grab a charger and plug in my iPad. It is at 5%. All right. It looks like we can go skiing at Lake Tahoe, maybe. Google Maps. Yep. Diamond Peak Ski Resort. Wow. Super pretty. That's Diamond Peak. Golly. Trees are covered in snow. Caked. Flight Sim Fanatic, what's up, man? How is it going? Finally getting to see you stream while delayed from Buffalo to Atlanta. That's no good. Good to see my old friend. That's what I thought. I recognized the picture and I was like, wait a minute. But man, how's it going? Are you flying the big DL? Hate to see that you're delayed. Yeah, man, great to see you. Y'all can't see it right now. I'm actually putting my cockpit fam ride on my calendar. I'm gonna be flying Atlanta to LA on Sunday in a 767-300, and then when I come back, not all day. When I come back, it'll be on an A350. Yeah, man, busy as fuck. Always flying Delta. There we go. Appreciate your patronage, my friend. Especially now that I am I'm at Delta myself. I'll definitely tell her. She was in the chat earlier. But yeah, I'm gonna fly out there and go hang out with her for a couple days. Should be a very good time. Leveling off. Diamond for the past 10. I can believe it. But if I remember correctly, you were looking at going elsewhere. I'll say joining, but like, you know, doing all of your company flying on another airline because there was something with the loyalty programs that changed that you weren't thrilled with, if I remember correctly. One of these days I'm gonna join you. I hope so. Man, you fly so much that like you might as well be a pilot. So at some point I should hit you up like, yo, when you gonna be flying? When you coming through Atlanta? And I'll just join you on one of the flights. Haven't been doing any VAs as of yet. I don't know if it's public knowledge, but there's a new Delta airline that's coming out. I won't say like who's doing it and stuff just because I don't know if they want it public knowledge yet, but there'll be a new Delta VA that's coming out, so whenever that drops, I will be joining that one. But other than that, I'm not flying any VAs. I still do some of the pilot's life type stuff, which is what we're flying right now. Yeah, other than that, no VAs as of now. But Shaq's doing good. He's a commercial flight instructor in Auburn, Alabama. Actually saw him a few weeks ago. Him and I went down to Gulf Shores, Alabama for a weekend. He was like right on my drive down there, so just swooped in, picked him up, went down to Gulf Shores, and then that next week, Callie flew in from LA, and Shaq he drove him, and the three of us hung out in Atlanta a couple nights. when I wasn't in when I was done with my ground school on those days. Went to the Delta Flight Museum, stuff like that. So he's doing good. He's just hammering away, keeping his head low, knocking out the hours, so he can get in the right seat of an airliner. Ah, you looked, but you stayed. Got it. Delta fixed what they could, but remained the rest. I see. Through Atlanta every week. Holy shit. Well, I guarantee you there's going to come an organic day where I'll be flying somewhere and you're going to be flying, and we'll have to maybe grab lunch at the airport. I'll whenever I do fly, I'll make sure to shoot you a message on Discord and see what your schedule's looking like. Little Rock to Toronto, Wednesday through Friday. Man, I could not fly as much as you do. Yeah, man, we the three of us try to see each other as much as we can. Usually it's a few times a year, maybe at Expo and then World Flight and stuff like that. Robert, new Delta Virtual. Yep, I can't say any more than that. But yeah, a new Delta Virtual airline is coming. It's ready, as far as I know. They're just waiting on one thing to happen, and then they'll put it out. And I already know it's going to be a good one. I'll hit up my schedule for next flights via Discord. Perfect. You used to love it, but now, what have they said what the reason for the delay is for? I'll take a look at a couple things. What happened to the existing one? Oh, it's still there. I just it just wasn't my favorite one. I mean, there's several Delta Virtual Airlines, but the biggest one that I'm aware of, I flew it. I mean, I've flown it for a long time. In fact, I actually have it ATC OIS page. Have it here on my home screen. But just wasn't really feeling it. Like there wasn't much to it. And I know the new one there will be a lot more, to be a little bit more in depth. Alright, so there's no ATC delays into Atlanta. No Atlanta or no weather anywhere. So maybe it's like a maintenance delay or some sort of downline, something other. Some thunderstorms down in South Florida. Any chance you know who's running it, or that would? Yeah, it'd give too much away. I do know who's running it. I found out about it from talking to the main person. Maintenance, gotcha. What kind of airplane are you going to be on? If it's a 7-1, then I wouldn't be surprised. Maintenance. And I was today years old when I learned that with Delta, if they have a delay on your flight, they do not automatically change your remaining connecting flights. What do you have? Do you have to just like go in the app and, or do they send you a notification? Then you go in the app and choose the like the new connecting flight that you want. 321. Interesting. Okay. It's been 06 or 07 since I flew for Delta Virtuals. Gotcha. Are you on the board? I'm not on the board, no. But I have been in contact with the main person that will be starting this one for the past few years, because they do multiple other airlines. So I've helped them out with a few things in the past, and they just kind of mentioned the Delta thing in passing. Could y'all imagine living out here? There's nothing out here. Not a damn thing. I had no idea. I missed a message from the gate agent. I went up and asked about my connecting flights, which is when she told me that Delta no longer auto books next flights. You have to do it yourself. Huh. I could see the good and the bad in that. At least for me personally, I like control over that kind of stuff. So if I was to get rebooked automatically, I don't know. Maybe for whatever reason I would want not what it put me on, and would want something different. So for me, I would personally like to have that control. But obviously the first main thing is being aware of, missing your connection in the first place, and then knowing to go into the app and to go do it. I'm sure it's probably pretty quick and easy, but if you fly as much as you do and you're used to being auto booked, then and like your itinerary just automatically updating, I could see how that'd be a problem. First world problems. Yeah, 'cause, man, at least you can at least it used to be able to auto book, and now you can rebook yourself. 'Cause when I worked for Delta doing above and blowing ops, people couldn't do that, and they all had to go stand in line, ticket counter at the gate, and agent had to rebook, and it sucked from the employee's perspective, obviously, as well as the passenger's perspective, having to stand in line. It sucked. Yeah, I agree. There definitely should have been some sort of communication that Delta no longer auto books. But yeah, make it to Atlanta and there's no flight home. Definitely a problem. And I would be livid. Happy to hear you at Delta now. I'll definitely hit you up with my next few weeks trips through the Discord. We can see if we can grab a bite or drink. Hey man, sounds like a plan to me. I'm in Atlanta usually like every 4 days or so. But yeah, man, I'm loving it at Delta. The culture's amazing. Everything's amazing. It's, in my opinion, the best Delta the best dispatch job in the world. From the pay to the culture, the tools, everything's. It's phenomenal. Beautiful campus. Lots of stuff. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. It'd be dope to go hang out in the Sky Club with you for sure. Finally get to put a face with the name, Yeah, man, it is. Training, on the other hand, as you would expect at a places reputable, and as thorough as Delta is, the training has been it's been tough. Like the ground school, the classroom, quite tough. But I'm almost past my second major milestone. First one being ground school. Passed ground school with a 95 or a 96 overall. I think it was a 95 overall class grade. I'm in OJT now, and then May 20th. I have the first day of my 3-day comp check, and once I pass the comp check, I'll be signed off to a solo dispatch, and then I'll have a probationary comp check 8 months from then. And then after that, I go into international dispatch, and then I gotta do ground school for that, OJT for that, comp check for that. So a lot more ahead, but just taking it one day at a time, and every day is a win, and just trying to push through it. But I cannot wait to get signed off and just be turned loose to dispatch on my own, not have to sit with a trainer and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they will have a need to hire a medical doctor. We do have a Delta medical department. I don't know if we have. I've never gone in there or talked to any of them, so I don't know if there's actual medical doctors in there or what they have in there, but there's a whole little Delta hospital. You're gonna start taking the right seat for real at some point? Nah. I'm just gonna chill at my Delta dispatch desk and enjoy getting off work on time every day and going home. Which, speaking of home, neither one of us, Crystal or I, aren't too enthused with Atlanta. Granted, her and her mom are going to come up next month to kind of look around and explore some of the areas that I've gone and looked at. But we're looking at moving to Foley, Alabama, assuming that everything I've told her about Atlanta she agrees with me on. But more than likely we'll move to Foley, Alabama, which, as you know, is just north of Gulf Shores, and I'll just commute, work 4 on, 4 off, 4 on, 3 off on my relief schedule, and either fly out of Pensacola or Mobile, go into Atlanta and work my 4 days, and then fly back home. So that's the plan, but that won't happen until later this year, probably like October, November. Loving what you do is the real deal. It really is, man. Now, I will say, having not been a line dispatcher for the last, 3-4 years, been at Spirit, getting back on the desk and dispatching, especially with thunderstorms and all that kind of stuff, I don't miss the stress. But even still, I had some stressful days as a manager. But I've had a few days in the past 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks that I've been doing OJT that were really stressful. So I don't miss that part of it. But as I kind of get settled back into the groove and all that, it'll get better. It takes you a solid 1 to 2 years at an airline to really get your bearing and to know how to do everything. Who to call for this issue, or who to call for that issue, or how to do this, how to do that. And there's so much technology involved. There's so many little things that it just takes a year or two to really get in the groove and get your bearing down. And obviously I was well past that at Spirit, so I was very comfortable. And now it sucks to be the new guy again and to not have that bearing, and everything is fresh and new, and makes it not comfortable, right? So I was telling my trainer the other night, I hate being in this spot again, but hopefully this is the last time, at least in the last airline that I'll ever work for. and you know, just gonna take some time to get my bearings. Robert said, "Understand your feelings of Atlanta." Yeah, and most people I've talked to that I work with, they live there because they don't want to commute. But they don't absolutely hate Atlanta, but they don't love it either. It's not a place they would ever pick to live. So I kind of feel like I would feel the same way. But yeah, we're gonna figure it out. I heard of a place. One of the dispatch instructors, he's from my hometown in Louisiana, and he was working the other night, and we met, and he was telling me a really good Cajun restaurant called Gumbo's in, I don't know where he said it was, Douglasville, I believe it was. But he said it was legit. Really, really good Cajun food, so I'm gonna go check that out. Foley is great. Don't mean to offend. Yeah, man, I would love to live in Foley. In fact, one of the other dispatchers sitting next to me the other night, his dad lives in Pensacola, and his niece and her husband live in Foley, and you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, I would move there in a heartbeat too." He just doesn't want to commute, but he would choose the Atlanta, or he would choose the Foley area over Atlanta. All right, let's start figuring out everything set up in the airplane. Coming on 16 right. Of course, wind's variable at 4, gusting 16. Looks like everybody flying into theirs on a south flow. Damn, this dude was holding. Charts. That's 16 right. Course heading is 164. Frequency is 111.9. Brake level 3. Flaps 30. VREF 147. That's said. Steady state 4 knots. Gust 16. So we'll increase VREF by like 7 again. Bottom altitude 11,000. Cool. Last thing, minimums. Aero 4426. Birmingham and Chattanooga are similarly distanced to Atlanta if you weren't yet settled on a location. Oh, I mean, I've always just been settled on Foley because I love Gulf Shores. So definitely worth looking at. The issue with Chattanooga, which obviously it's a couple hours, so it's a little far for the daily drive. Not bad, obviously if I'm commuting. It's just dealing with the traffic getting through Atlanta. Birmingham, the traffic will be better on a daily drive. And obviously commuting is not so bad. Usually Interstate 65 and 85 isn't too bad. I cannot multitask to save my life. 44.26. Moving when you retire in a few years. Hell yeah. Do you know where you're going? And Robert, have you eaten at that Gumbo's place? I have not been to Louisiana Bistro, no. But I'll go though. I'll definitely find any excuse to go to a Cajun restaurant. Andrew, what's up, man? OJT's going good. It's going good. Had a couple of days that just beat the shit out of me, but aside from that, it's good. All the trainers I've had have been really good. Very laid back and just kind of let me do my thing on the desk and all that stuff. So it's good. I'm loving it. So Hogs, how long till your flight leaves? Like how delayed have you been? And is the airplane even? Is the plane there, or are you still waiting on it to come in? Ooh. Yeah, that's a lengthy delay. Well, at least once you finally get up and going, shouldn't have any other issues like ATC or weather and that kind of stuff. Because man, the other day there was a squall line spanning from North Oklahoma all the way to Canada. So I was routing like Atlanta, Seattle to Atlanta. Had to go all the way down through Wichita Falls, Texas. Pretty safe to say, like every one of my flights that night was all crossing the country. So it'd be like Atlanta, Seattle, Atlanta, Salt Lake, Boise. I think I'm missing one out there. Nashville to Seattle, Salt Lake. So pretty much everything had to go down through Wichita Falls. So everything was delayed just because of the en route flight time. Oh, okay. Gotcha, yeah. So that makes sense. At least it's airborne. So yeah, the remaining en route time plus the time to turn the flight and get out. 2 hours sounds about right. That's awesome. Love when the trainers let you do your thing. Yeah. Yeah. So far, I only had one that, I wouldn't say it was like hovering, but all the other ones would just be like, hey, cut the releases, send it, and I'll check them after you send it. This guy was like I would build some, then he'd come over, get on my computer, go through them, send them, then get my computer back. And that's been about the most like hovering that I've had, which wasn't really even hovering. But yeah, it's been really chill. What's crazy is like the most thorough and in-depth and knowledgeable, not necessarily just solely dispatch knowledgeable, but also like knows the really small inner workings of all the different tools and websites and stuff that like make your life easier, was the least experienced dispatcher of all my trainers. She was like by far like the most, I don't know, shared the most knowledge, which was kind of surprising. I mean, I sat with dispatchers that have been, you know, dispatching for like 3-4 decades. She'd been dispatched for 2 years, and she was sharp. Something about a wing falling off and needing additional duct tape. Could you imagine? Oh, that's funny. Had a few red eyes divert a few weeks ago from Atlanta because the tower had to oh, yeah. I remember that. It was early in the morning, wasn't it? Yeah, because it was red eyes. Yeah, I was in Atlanta that day. Slept through all of it. Almost at our top of drop. Yeah, the older ones get complacent. Yeah, some of them do. And it's not to take anything away from them. I think with them, it was just a lot more focus on like cutting the releases, and they would check to make sure that, you know, everything was safe, legal, you know, like little mistakes. Like if I had to hand build a route, oddly enough, like sometimes I would tell it go direct, and then it would have these like little points in the route that would be like an unknown point. How is it an unknown point? It's direct to a VOR. And I wouldn't catch that it would have unknown points, and so they would like see that and like, oh hey, like we gotta make sure that the route doesn't have these, blah blah blah. You know, little small things, right? So more or less it was just like cutting releases, working the desk, and just staying on top of, you know, staying ahead of my flights, staying ahead of the workload, and then just like handling things as they came, phone calls, etc. Right? But the chick, in between like working flights, it was just a lot more like, okay, so like you can, if you want, you know, more like ride reports than what Fusion's going to show, you can go to the meteorology page and go here and do this, set it up with these settings, and then bam, you have this, and you can. It just showed me a lot more tools and a lot more little things. So it, like I said, not to take away from the super experienced, but it was just like a different kind of training, I guess, that we were doing. But I really wish I could just live a life where I won the lottery and had millions and millions and millions of dollars and could just not work. I wouldn't want to quit my job. I think I'd just pay dispatchers to work for me and just go travel. I just want to go all out west and enjoy the mountains and stuff like that. Do the hipster thing, buy a Sprinter van, and just like go all over. That's what I wish I could do. Alright, so the weather's looking good. Let's get the terrain on them. Get your PPL, screw that van, fly your ass off, you cheap millionaire. Man, I still like, even though I could fly myself, I don't think I'd want to. I think I'd just rather buy airline tickets, and if I had to fly. I mean, if I flew myself, I could get like a Vision Jet or Honda Jet, something that get me places quick. Yeah, I remember when I got here, they showed us the IATA turbulence page and all the recommended settings and how to use it, etc. At Spirit, they just gave us the login and said, good luck. No guidance on how to use it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the ones that we have, it's all, pretty much everything meteorology-wise comes from our meteorology department. We don't use, at least at our hubs, we don't use National Weather Service TAFs. We don't use SIGMETs, AirMets, any of that stuff. Like, we don't really use hardly any National Weather Service products. Our meteorology department does all that stuff. We use what we call turbulence plots, TPs. And so the meteorology department, the upper level folks will draw out all these. I mean, they're basically the same thing as a SIGMET, but they're typically a little bit more accurate in the flight levels. Won't be as, I mean, you can definitely see like a giant block of altitude. But if like a National Weather Service SIGMET says like, I don't know, 30 to 35,000, deltas would be probably like 32 to 34. Like, it's going to be a little bit more accurate, they say. I'm hanging with the TBM if I hit the lottery. Jet speed, prop, there you go. Hell yeah. Jet speed and prop maintenance. Yep. And that's a very good point. Very, very good point. Yeah, it is. And like, the cool thing with having our own meteorology department and like using our own products is if like you disagree with or maybe have some low confidence in a forecast or something, you can call them and talk to them and be like, hey, you know, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm thinking, what are you seeing, what are you thinking, what drove this? There's a giant thunderstorm like 15 miles to the west of the field, moving right at the field, but there's no thunderstorms in the TAF. Wow. But so it's cool to like be able to call and talk to the person that made it, or stuff like that. Our mate team has the capability of writing tasks for us, but they rarely do. And it's not because they won't. Company policy on it is limited. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like for ours, they can do the same thing, right? Like if we need a E-Winds TAF or whatever the case, they can write one. For all of our hubs, they write the TAF for every 6 hours, and we'll have them side by side. We can look at the National Weather Service and the Delta Meteorology, look at them and kind of compare, see if there's they're not too wildly off. But that other functionality where, like, if you're missing certain aspects from a METAR, then our meteorology department can kind of derive a METAR for us. Good different things, but yeah, a lot of capability there. It's nice to have. Hey, are you exclusively Microsoft Flight Sim, or do you do DCS as well? I've got DCS. I've got a whole bunch of airplanes. I used to fly it a lot more than I do now. But to answer your question, presently, yeah, pretty much strictly Microsoft Flight Sim. But I do have DCS. I've got it installed. I'm sure it needs to be updated. I usually fly that in VR. Just because dogfighting, without being able to like move my head or move the view quick, fast, and easy, obviously would make for impossible dogfighting. But yeah, I've got it. AvGeek, what's up, man? Yeah, we're back. We've been back for a while. Just damn technical issues. Of course, we're flying a 7.3, like we always do. If I can have the energy and sneak out of bed tonight, maybe we'll do like a late night red eye MD-11 stream. For 11, we need to be at 7,500 or above at Beehive. So there's 7,500 in there. About to fly over Antelope Island. It's a place I would love to go back and visit. A couple years ago, whenever Crystal and I were out at Park City, Utah, for our little engagement trip, and we dropped our friends off at the Salt Lake City Airport. We came and visited this place, and there's a lot of bison. Hey, get out of there, girl. You can't have that. That's chocolate. No, it's no good for you. It was like extremely foggy, and so we couldn't really see much other than what was 20 feet ahead of us. We did see the bison. They were all bed down in the frozen sagebrush, but yeah, I would love to go back when it's actually clear and you can see the mountains from a distance. It'd be mighty, mighty pretty. Cool, I downloaded DCS but haven't had time to... That's my other thing. I mean, I can start the airplanes, I can fly them, but the navigation systems and the weapon systems and all that stuff is so vastly different that I just do not want to dedicate the time and the brain power to learning that stuff. I would rather, when the Synaptic 220 ever and does finally come, I want to learn that airplane because it would benefit me on the dispatch desk. So yeah, I just haven't had the time, the brain power, the patience to learn it. Let's get PSXT back on so I have some airplanes to look at. Lights are all good to go. Traffic starting to fill in. Is this dude climbing? Yeah, I think he's climbing. Right at us ish. Yeah, girl, that bumpy. That dude might be going in front of us. Looks like he's joining up on 1/6 left. Vorloke. Capture that glide slope.
2,500.
It's going to freeze real quick because I just turned on the recording. Alright, now winds are 280 at 7. Come on. There you go. Alright, glide slope's captured. 8 miles. Drop the gear, flaps. 15. Laps 25. Laps 30.
$1,000.
Stable. High. These little wind gusts
500.
correcting.
400. 300. Approaching minimums. 200.
Sink rate.
Minimums.
Sink rate.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Commercial green. See, I mean, just the smallest kick in the fucking cameras. I hate that. Manual braking. Ugh. That makes me nauseous. That's where I want to goes over here. Alright. Every time that's inhibited. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Seattle. Land of I don't even know. I don't know what they do here. I don't know what this place is known for, but welcome. That motherfucker's tough. I get in at around 23:30. When I make it home, I'll check to see if you're streaming again. If so, I'll join. Hell yeah. If I remember how to turn my computer on. Is there a 220 that's imminent? I don't know about imminent, but supposedly a 220 is... It's been in development for like the last, I don't know, 3 years or so. 3-4 years. Great, Landon. I appreciate it. I'm bounce... consume an altitude adjustment at the terminal bar. There you go. I'll check and see if you're streaming again this evening. Take care. Hey, you take care as well. And again, really appreciate your patronage at Delta Airlines. But have a good flight home, my friend. Hope you don't encounter any further delays. All right, I'm gonna let this finish deboarding. Martino, how's it going, man? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We want to do a replay of the landing real quick after I go let the dog out, and then call it a day on this one. But nonetheless, glad that you're here. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm gonna go let the dog out, and I'll be right back. Man, this whole time that we've been doing replays, I've been talking and had no idea. I completely forgot that I was on mute. CFI, what's up, man? I said hello to you as soon as you popped in the chat, and I was muted. I've been bitching and complaining about the stutters. But anyways, guys, greatly appreciate every one of y'all that came to hang out today. And definitely helping me deal with all the technical issues from the attempted first stream that we had today. We shot for the 787, didn't work, then MD-11. But at least we got something in. So glad that y'all came to hang out. Always appreciate everyone in the chat. All the channel subscribers. Love hanging out with you guys. And tomorrow I will be heading back to Atlanta for 4 days of OJT. And then on the 5th day I'll be on a 767-300 out to LA. Go hang out with Callie Simmer for a couple days, and then an A350 back to Atlanta. So it should be a good time. But anyways, with all that said, following the trip back into Atlanta, I'll work another 4 days and then come home. So I won't be home for a couple weeks. So we'll get some more streaming in once I get back. But as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for being part of the channel. Hope y'all have a great couple weeks, and until next time, keep it on the wrong side. I'll see ya.